When it comes to commercial snow removal, look to Tovar Snow Professionals. With the largest snow and ice management fleet in the Midwest, Tovar delivers top-notch commercial sidewalk and parking lot clearing services, even in winter's worst weather conditions. With their 24-hour live office staff, certified meteorologists, and personal service, they are leaders in professional snow removal. To get a free estimate for snow removal on your site, go to baseball.tovarsnow.com or call 844-GO-TOVAR. That number again is 844-GO-TOVAR. Tovar Snow Professionals, Chicago's snow plowing leader. Tovar is an equal opportunity employer.
We're Cubs fans helping Cubs fans at Stewart's Cubs cave parties. Everybody's in for giving back to those in need. We're going to Club 400. Club 400. We're going to Club 400. Club 400. We're going to Club 400 Radio. All right.
The Club 400 podcast is coming through your speakers. It's almost time for opening day. I'm here with my guys, Johnny and William. What's up, boys?
Just back fresh from spring training.
And
Feeling good.
And we're gonna go over that big time. That's one of our.
And I'm back still here because I didn't go with.
You
and I'm
didn't.
very upset that I didn't. But
We're gonna recap the whole entire
John,
spring training.
while you're doing that, I will go walk away.
John, you will feel like you were with us.
Hey, you guys! I was watching your
You-
constant stream of content on.
Oh, you
the
get
400. Yeah, the 400 page. What do you mean?
Oh, I
get
thought
it.
you were talking about the marquee.
No, the constant updates like, oh, we're just hanging out at the ballpark.
Well, there was.
Let's
We have
get
two.
some pizza.
We have 2 pages on Facebook. So
Yeah, the group and
the
then
smaller,
yeah.
the smaller one gets the where we pretty much make a jackass out of ourselves.
The
Correct.
uncut stuff.
Yeah, the other one gets kind of let out.
like the transvestite bar. Go ahead.
So anyways,
Tell all.
before we get started on spring training, I want to tell you that our first event basically of 2020 is upon us, and that is Friday, April 3rd. John Vincent will be in the house. He's been on our podcast before,
Johnny V.
and he is one hell of a guy. And for this event, we are helping out one of our own who happens to be on the line with us right now. Bill Watts, on 100% of the ticket sales are going to our guy, Bill Watts. And Bill, how you feeling, buddy?
What's up, guys? Hey, I have bad days and I have not as bad days, I guess is the best way to describe it. But I'm making progress. I'm getting stronger every day, and I got a good nurse at home and good doctor, great surgeon. So I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful.
The 50 cent story. Can you tell everybody
Yeah, can
what?
you tell her?
Yeah, right. Sorry,
Just so
William.
we rewind a little bit.
Yeah, it's well, I could go back 3.5 years, but I won't. But I was injured about 3.5 years. Actually, May would be 4. Injured my back, and they wanted to do surgery at that time, and I said no, I'm not ready for that. I'll try conservative treatments. And so over the course of like 3.5 years, I tried just about everything you can do conservative wise, from injections and therapy and chiropractic care, so much stuff, and nothing helped. I went back to the surgeon and had a couple more tests done, and he said, you're much worse. The only thing that's going to help you is a dual level spinal fusion surgery. So what they do basically is take a couple discs out, put some spacers in there, screws and rods, and throw you back together. And so that's what I had done.
And now you're going to be out for a while. Obviously, you're a carpenter, and you're not really even sure how you're going to feel when it's all said and done if you can go back to carpentry, correct?
I'm not. They say 3 months, for the average person to, you sit around and kind of walk and rest for like the first 6 weeks, and then they say you're supposed to start therapy after that. So they they anticipate about a 12-week, turnaround, but everybody's different, and sometimes it can be longer. It can be 6 months. I've heard, for some people. So there's a lot of circumstances, surrounding. Everybody heals different, and so yeah, I'll be out of commission for at least, 3 months, probably, at least 3 to 4 months, and yeah, I mean, it's a lot of soul searching during that time when you got a surgically repaired back like that. You wonder if you can go back to doing, that type of strenuous type work. If you, can, if you think you should, because, you want to preserve, what's been done too. So, yeah, it's a big decision to make for, me and my family, and whether I can, whether I, should. So, yeah, it's been a rough time.
And obviously,
so
one of the main things is the reason why we decided to do this. Well, first of all, you're a huge part of Club 400. You've always donated your awesome pieces to us, and we've made a lot of money off those. And I always say you're just as much of a part of our goal of raising $1 million as anybody. I mean, it's people like you who give and help us, raise these funds. And, unfortunately, and we won't get into reasons why, but you won't be having any income coming in for the next, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. That's one of the reasons why we are doing this. Our appreciation for you. I said we're helping one of our own here, and we would love for you guys to come out and see Johnny Vincent. We're also going to have a karaoke party because that's what the Wattses do. They love karaoke. And it's going to be a great night. It's going to be awesome.
So do some of the people in Club 400, as I learned in Mesa, Arizona.
Yeah, and we're going to have Crawly on in a bit. We'll talk about that later. Jesus. There's actually going to be some rules that we're going to have to make.
The Crawly rules.
The Crawly rules, yeah. Because Crawly, we'll talk about him later, but he basically invaded everybody's karaoke at the entire bar. Like, no one did a solo that night.
They were all duets.
You have to tighten up security that night, I think.
Exactly. So are you just bored out of your mind, or what are you doing to pass the time? Do you have the Marquee Network, or what?
I think Ashley has figured a way to illegally, temporarily grab the Marquee Network via, I think they call it jailbreaking the Fire Stick. I don't know if I should say that on the air, but
Trust me,
anyway.
You already did. You did. And by the way, once she figures it out, we're going to have to talk again because I also don't have it. So
yeah, it would be tough without it. But like I said, I all the weight that Stu lost, I found. So I feel like I've packed on some pounds because all I do is sit around and eat. And once in a while, I'll go to the store and walk. But it's I've done some drawings. I like to
Bill, like
sketch.
Why we got you on the line? Why don't you do a little plug about your company and what you actually do for some people who may have never heard of you? All right.
Yeah, well, it's called Fly the Wood Art, and I've always had an interest in art and carpentry, and it kind of was a way to bring both of them together. A few years back in 2016, a buddy of mine saw a wooden W flag at a bar in Chicago, and he's like, "Dude, you could do something like that." And I was like, "Yeah, maybe I could put my own spin on it." Sure, So I was like, "Yeah." So I came up with my own little design, started making them. I better give him a plug. His name's Todd Helms. He's a newer addition to Club 400. But I started doing those. They took off, and then our buddy Noah, who was making stuff, before
Barred
me.
up, Noah.
Yeah, barred up, Noah Ramos. He said, "Dude, you got to figure out a way to put lights behind that. That would really trick it out." And so I modified the design, thanks to his idea, and from W flags, it kind of took off to jersey number flags, custom work, Cubs C's, just quite a few different designs. That's kind of taken off from there, and I'm very fortunate, very blessed to, to have people around me like Club 400 Stu, who's really put the word out there. I've been able to, grow the business that way. Also done work for the Kerry Wood Foundation, and just to be able to make stuff like that for, players, and to donate to the cause to help people, in need, Cub fans, helping Cub fans. It's a joy of mine. I've told you this, Stu, that I'm, I feel, kind of weird about this, because I'm always like one trying to help others, and I want to give to the cause, and to be receiving it, now is so humbling, and I'm so appreciative. My family's appreciative. It's just, I can't say enough on how the gratitude I feel for everyone coming together to help me out during this time, and I just appreciate it greatly.
It was pretty much a no-brainer. I mean, there's a point when me and you have talked. I went and visited you in the hospital. I covered your balls.
You did.
For everybody.
I appreciate that.
And
there's a photo on our page.
If we didn't help you out, then what the heck is Club 400 even around for? But
right.
Bill, we're looking forward to seeing you and your entire family here April 3rd with Johnny Vincent. It's going to be an unbelievable time. It's Cub fans helping Cub fans. We're helping one of our own. Go out and buy a ticket. I promise you'll have a great time. And Bill, thanks for joining us tonight, and we will talk soon, my brother.
Thank you, guys. And I'm so jealous of the as the old saying goes, maybe next year. Spring training is on my bucket list, and I'm definitely going to get out there. Either, if not next year, the year after. But,
well, thanks for leading us into the right.
Well, we broke Crawly in, but if there's
next year, be me.
If there's any advice I have for you, is take some notes from Crawly's experience, because there's some certain things you don't want to do.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna have to get one of them cards now to get through security, because I got all this metal in my body now in the back. But thanks again, you guys. I appreciate the love, and we'll see you April 3rd.
All right, buddy. We love you. Take care.
Love you guys.
Bye.
So yeah, man, that's gonna be a good time, huh? Johnny, you're gonna karaoke a few songs or what?
Oh, you know it. When Johnny V's in the house, I gotta flex the pipes a little bit.
I was thinking about adding a new song, because I only have like two.
You do have two.
Family Tradition and The Wander. And, those are getting old.
The Wander. No, it gets better every time, though.
You're seasoning it. You're making it better.
You were really good.
You got to own it
in Arizona. I got to say.
I don't know how, but we're going to go over the whole Arizona trip. But before we do that, I want to tell you, you guys should both be jealous, because guess where I'm headed this Thursday, I should say.
Where?
I'm going back to Mesa.
Why not? It's only been like a week.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait.
This will be your third time.
Now, why don't you just stay there, and then
we
phone you in?
Or why don't we move the show there?
No, because I'm here.
You know what? We have to bring John next year. Yeah. We have to bring John. John, you got to come with us.
Okay.
So it'll be a field trip for the Club 400 podcast. That'd be great.
That would be fun.
But I want to talk to you about one of the main reasons why I'm going down there. Well, first of all, Lisa needs a getaway. She needs a little getaway. So
finally, you put Lisa at the top of the list of the main reasons.
Wow. And we're staying with JP. Dude, do you think we
burning him like?
Do you think we overstay our welcome at JP and Melanie's or no?
Well, I didn't realize you were going back in a week, but no, I don't think we overstayed it.
No, I don't think so.
We were good, clean.
JP didn't even take one day off of work for us. So,
right.
I mean, Melanie did.
Yeah, Melanie.
And she took us out for a great breakfast.
That was a good one.
But the reason why I'm going out there is because we are sponsoring an event that's going to be held down in Mesa every single year. This is supposed to be what they want it to be, is the biggest spring training event for Chicago Cub fans every March. And it's going to be always around St. Patrick's Day. It'll be Saturday, September 14th.
Cool.
And it's called Chicago Baseball Night. And it's basically Chicago Special Olympics and Phoenix Special Olympics combining forces to help raise money for the cause, which is awesome. And this event is going to include guys like David Ross, Kyle Schwarber, Joe Mantegna, Brian Erglacher, Mark Grace, Bulls players, and even Arizona Cardinal players. This place is going to be packed, man. And the tickets are $75. If you want to spend a little bit more and get the VIP, those are like $500. And this is taking place at the Sheraton Wrigleyville, right next to Sloan Park. So you could come to the Club 400 tailgate in the morning, have a beer and a piece of pizza on me, go to the game in Sloan Park, and then walk over to Sheraton and join the party of the year. Brian Weymouth, who I want to thank very much, who brought us into this event, and the reason why I'm going down there this week, made Club 400 a sponsor, and we are one of 6 live auction items. And I don't know who the player is, but there's going to be a private auction for a private party here at Club 400 with 29 of your friends or family and a Cubs player around a baseball game. So
now,
we're hoping that goes for big money.
I thought you were going to say a Cubs fan of your choice. I'm just like, of my choice.
I wish.
Yeah, no kidding.
But we're hoping it goes for big money.
What was the date of that again? Because I'm pretty sure you said September.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Well, I meant, yeah, I probably did. March 14th.
He's looking ahead. He's looking forward to
March 14th.
March 14th. And that's the only day that yours truly will be at the tent for the rest of the summer. Melanie and JP, of course, are going to try to be there every single day, but they did miss the White Sox game on Friday. How do you miss that one?
I don't know. It's a lot of work, though. I mean, got to give them credit.
No, wait. They did a heck of a job, didn't they?
They do every day a heck of a job.
So, well, hey, let's put a quick call in because we're going to recap. Before we put the call in, let's just talk about me and you go down there. We leave and we get down. What would we do that? Oh, we went to, was it cheeseburgers and beers?
Burgers and beers.
Burgers and beers
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And we just kind of kept it low key. But then what I wanted to go into more than anything, I want to give a special shout out to our guy, Brad from the Heckler, Brad Zebung. Dude, we broke our cherries with the Heckler, didn't we?
What a party.
Was that not awesome,
Oh,
dude?
my gosh. So, John, they have a game, which we knew we had to be there by a certain time to get there for Thunder Drunk.
Thunder Drunk.
Explain. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so was I. I mean, it's a great name, right?
It's a great name.
So everybody gets in a circle.
Okay.
They play the song Thunderstruck. About every 6th person, there's somebody with that starts, and they have to start drinking a beer till the next time they say thunder. And then it goes to the next person. And
That's fantastic.
I've learned after playing it twice now that there are 3 points in the song you don't want to get stuck on. It just goes on, and you got to keep going the whole time. And there's somebody in the middle that literally will walk you a beer if you're out of one while you're doing it. And he picks up the empties.
Chain chug.
Chain chug. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's fun.
And they do it like 3 or 4 times a day.
Right. Yeah.
That sounds like an awesome game.
So Brad has this itinerary, which I only shared, I think, Thursdays with William because we joined the Heckler on Thursday. And I'm amazed at the detail of it. Every day they had an itinerary that would knock your socks off. And, you know, what I learned from going out with the Heckler that day is they have awesome Cub fans in that group. Just as awesome as Cub fans in Club 400. Just as awesome as Cub fans in San Rano. I mean, just different group of people that united under, you know, following somebody, whatever else. But
I'm sensing a softball league.
The Heckler group was a great group of people.
Oh, they were so fun.
And like I said, I told William, there's one night I'm going to behave, buddy, and it's going to be Thursday. But, you know, William hasn't been on a vacation in like 4 or 5 years. So we went to the Heckler's Hotel at like 10 in the morning, right?
We did.
We started drinking at 10 in the morning. That's never good.
I started at 8. You started at 10. Go ahead.
Yeah, he did. He drank. He woke up, went straight to the fridge, and grabbed a Club 400 lager.
400
I took a picture of him. I sent it to JP, and JP said, "Is that from like right now?" And I'm like, "Yep, it is." So we went to a bar
I've had
called
beer at breakfast though.
Hobnob. Was that a not awesome bar? That's a guy from the local area, Crystal Lake area. Hobnob. If you remember the old Hobnob on Route 14.
I'm a fetus compared to you guys, so I don't know.
So yeah, this
Where
guy,
was it?
14.
Route 14 in
Route
Crystal Lake was
Crystal Lake.
Hobnob. Now it's DeAndre's Banquets. I believe.
Okay, yeah, I know what. Okay,
So
that guy actually moved his operation out to Arizona, or did they open another one?
No, they had a couple.
Okay.
But he just pretty much moved out of this area.
So it's a total Chicago. You feel like you're in Crystal Lake.
that's fantastic.
And he knew
but you're
Jimmy.
in
He knew
Phoenix.
Jimmy from Modern Day Romeos, and it was just like, oh my gosh. And we just like we're getting jacked up over there. Then we go to the game. which was awesome. The Cubs weren't. We said goodbye to Joe Madden, basically.
Oh yeah, that was the Angels.
Yeah, Angels game.
Not Angels Cubs. It was Angels something else. We went to the Angels stadium just to see him.
Got it. Okay.
And then we went out to the bar crawl and had an unbelievable time. I'm guessing there wasn't many Club 400 people there. Between our group, maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And that's about it. But
and Miguel Montero and
Miguel Montero and John
Maley
Maley, yep,
were with us.
That's sweet.
And a pub crawl. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
And those guys are the best. And I think Brad, after getting to know Montero and Maley a little bit, will agree with us. And I think we definitely brought the right guests to the party. I got in a fight with a bar stool that night, and I haven't really been the same since.
You lost.
I lost the fight with that bar stool. And but no, we had that was
Sarah Spain was there.
Sarah Spain in the house
from ESPN.
Yeah.
Yep. And which is of course Brad's wife. And it
was great.
That was pretty much. We did go to the heckler party on the tailgate party, but we had our own things going on. But
Harry Carey dress up day.
Yeah, they had Harry Carey dress up. I want to thank Brad first of all for bringing us in on Thursday, and not only that, but he let a couple of our group into the tour on Saturday at Sloan Park, and I highly suggest the Heckler spring training trip to anybody. It's just a first class. I'm like debating on signing up for it next year, but I don't know if I could party with those guys.
I'm not sure I could make it the whole way.
I mean, thankfully, that's the only thing that would second guess me signing up, because I don't know if I'm going to be 47 years old. I don't even think I can hang out with these guys.
I shotgunned my first beer in about 30 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way,
it's making a cult comeback
at the Heckler
shotgun
because you brought this up, and we're going to call Crawly. We're going to finish the rest of the trip. But thank you, Brad, for bringing us in. We love you, buddy, and you do one hell of a job. And whenever we can work with you guys, we'd love to do it. But speaking of shotgun, I want to thank Tovar, our sponsor, Eric Hartman, who called us up Monday night and told us, well, on our page, we had a couple shotgun contests, which I think I lost, but he wanted to see me and William go toe for toe in a shotgun contest, and he said he would send a driver for us, and he did, actually. But we did not do the shotgun contest.
Yeah, we owe him one. We weren't able to do it.
Who won?
We told him we didn't do it.
We didn't do it because there was no beer in the car.
There was no beer in the car.
And it was 12 o'clock.
Couldn't do it.
On
There's
Tuesday
no beer
night.
on the plane either.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't going to shotgun.
So we got a free ride, but we didn't have to do shotgun. But me and so I'm telling Eric Hartman.
I'm disappointed. I'm honest.
If you're listening, because I don't know if he listens to our podcast. He says he does. But we're going to do one in front of you, and you can video it, and I will kick William's ass. That's all I got to say.
No shot.
So that was our Thursday in spring training. I'm going to call Crawly right now.
And then things got crazy when Crawly made his virgin appearance to spring training.
And that's why I wanted to bring Crawly in. We all love Crawly. Of course, now he's doing the podcast with the San Rando crew. And I wanted to bring in, a first-timer's perspective of what it all meant. Here we go. We'll bring him in.
And, John, this will give you a good idea of what to expect your first time.
Yeah.
Just don't follow Crawly.
Who's going to sing the creepy Crawly song? Anybody? Because they actually have one.
Hello.
There he is, Crawly. You're on the air with Club 400, the podcast. What's up, my brother?
Stuart McVicker and Sir William. How are you, gentlemen?
And we got John over here, too.
And John in the house.
What's up, my
John
friend?
is such a handsome young man. Please make sure to give him a kiss from me later.
He's definitely the best-looking one out of the three of us.
That's
Oh,
why I don't
absolutely.
talk as much. I already look pretty. They just need to sound pretty. So they
First
gotta
question,
talk
how's your
much.
nose?
It's better, man. It's better. It's hanging in there. You know?
No, actually, like you
it's
were
hanging on.
You
It's
were
hanging
involved
on.
in the accident. How are you feeling? First of all, Crawly, I mean, he was in a pretty serious accident
Oh, that's right. Afterwards.
afterwards.
Yeah. That's it was something. I think I don't know. Maybe I think it was Albert Almora's handler was trailing me and tried to wipe me out for good. But I'm still around.
I mean, when did that So let me, because you left us in the middle of a tailgate. Had to do the walk of shame to the Uber back to the airport,
Yes, sir.
knowing while we were going to continue on with our day and get drunk and watch the Cubbies play in Mesa, Arizona.
Yeah.
What time did you actually get out of the? Because you were on standby, correct?
Yeah. I got home now. It wasn't too bad. It worked out all well. I was home by 8:00.
So when did that accident happen? The next day?
No, it happened on Wednesday.
Oh, it happened. Okay, it happened a few days later. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So let's get to the heart of the matter, because we don't got all night here. right? William's got to go to
Yeah.
bed pretty soon. Let's talk about you. Your first time ever in Mesa, Arizona. You're a virgin. Tell us about, like, just because I know you spent some days on the when the Cubs were even playing on the backfields and stuff like that. Tell us, as you being as big as a Cub fan that you are, the passion that you have, what it meant for you to go down there and what you experienced.
Well, I mean, I obviously, people kind of get shocked when I say I'd never been to spring training. And so, it was something that I've forever wanted to do, and there was always an excuse or a reason not to. And my friend John Furlise, he writes for Real Cubs Insider, helps run that site. He said, "No more excuses. You're staying at my place. Get over here." So, to go down there, it was just such paradise, man, to be in that beautiful weather. I think I left Chicago on Thursday night, actually. It was about 25 degrees. And by Saturday, I'm in Arizona and 80 degrees. But it's just so amazing to see that beautiful complex that they built. Like you said, I was doing a lot of just kind of hanging out in the backfields, just kind of watching them practice. I watched some live BP. I watched Kimbrel throw. I watched Quintana throw. I got to see Schwarber and Happ and and Nico Horner all hit. It was a lot of fun just to kind of see how they kind of go through their motions and kind of go through their routines. We did a stadium tour with the Heckler, which you helped us get into, and that was a lot of fun to really kind of. It was run by Tom and Keith. Keith is the guy who always used to work the door over at Wrigley, if you wanted to get upstairs to the booth. And those two guys made it a lot of fun. And it was just an interesting ballpark to see the way that they made it, the dimensions, how they pretty much replicate Wrigley, how they try to keep most of the seated area in the shade most of the time. They just did such a great job. The whole facility is amazing.
And then you got to actually tailgate with Club 400.
Oh, all the pictures I've seen over the years, and it was so much fun. It was just like a big old reunion. You know what I mean? There's so many Club 400 people there, and the Club 400 was cold, and the pizza was warm, and the weather was warm. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more.
All right, here's the question I want to ask you, Crawly. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
JP's Pizza. I want you to give it your Dave Portnoy Barstool review right now, and 1 through 10. Make sure you use a decimal point. I'm going to give you my review of it. What's your review? Don't sugarcoat it. I know it's not a 10. It's not even a 9, but it's good. But
I'd give it an 8.5.
8.5. That's not bad.
8.5. And think about it. He's cooking this pizza in the middle of a parking lot. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's absolutely, like I said, just it kind of hits the spot because, I love Lou Malinati's and stuff like that, but you don't want something that filling when you're going to be having a day long of drinking. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of like the tavern style. It's got good crunch on it. The cheese is really good and a lot of pepperoni. So I like it a lot. And I think it's one of those things like, how like Club 400 is like the perfect, like chill out and get ready for a game type beer. The JP's Pizza is the same kind of thing. It's like, it just kind of matches perfectly with what we were doing.
And you know what? It's when you have a little tailgate party, I mean, you just want to pick up a little piece of pizza, eat it,
right?
Not get invested in the meal. I'm never one that likes to invest in a meal.
Right.
Just give me a quick bite. Let me go back to my beer.
Necessary.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like you can sit there, grab a bite, chow it, walk away, come back 15 minutes later, and there's a whole new pizza, and you grab another bite.
So Crawly, I have a question for you. You were spotted in the left field with no shirt, singing "Bye Bye Miss American Pie." Tell us the story.
Yes. That would require me remembering it. I'm trying to remember exactly how it did, but somehow it involves somebody saying we're going to die or something tonight. I mean, we already foresaw how it was going to go, and that kind of Danny had some instruments. He had this. I don't even know what kind of instrument he had, and it kind of broke out spontaneously in the burn, but. I've been sitting in this miserable weather since October? September, October, it started really getting cold. So hell, 80 degrees. You think I'm going to be wearing clothes? They're lucky I kept my shorts on.
Oh, hell.
Crawly, tell us about walking into the ballpark on Saturday for the first time. Your overall thoughts of Sloan Park and the atmosphere there.
It reminds you of Wrigley, but like a chilled out, relaxed little Wrigley. You'll see certain things that remind you of Wrigley, but at the same time, like walking through the concourses and having awesome, I'm not a big fan of Levy, which is the food provider at Wrigley for most of the places. Like they had like a great variety of food. Over towards the, I want to say right field side, they have food trucks that kind of line up there. So just your variety of food and beer was a lot better at Sloan Park. And it's just like a tiny little park to watch the Cubs, you know? It was a lot of fun.
I love Sloan Park. I really do. It's part, because let's face it, the games don't really mean much at all, obviously. You never remember a spring training game. I always say that. But, around the 4th or 5th inning, I walk around the whole entire ballpark. Always want to say hi to Fergie Jenkins. Fergie Jenkins Foundation, of course, is out in the left field area signing autographs. Usually Gary Matthews, Bob Denier. My manager, Pete Lecoq, those guys are down there, and I always like to say hi to them. It usually costs me like $80 after I buy them all around a beer, but that's okay. And it's a great ballpark, decent food, good Chicago style hot dogs there, and they have the new pizza there this year, Home Run In Pizza. I saw it looked pretty good.
Yeah, and the cool thing is like I said, I just loved Kathy Wheatley. She was there, and she had this big green blanket on the berm in left field, and I just loved I loved being in the sun because, like I said, I've been like vitamin D deficient for like months. So I loved being in the sun, and I loved just kind of hanging and like watching, like when they switch out the players and the players go back underneath that tunnel by left field. It was just kind of cool to see them kind of talking and walking away. The other thing I like to do is looking at the pitchers in the bullpen. So you have a lot of pitchers in the bullpen warming up, and some of them get in the game, some of them don't. But it was kind of cool to see. Just how all of it works. It was just really fun.
Unbelievable time. And then you went to was it Innings Festival? Was it Innings Festival?
Yeah, I went to the Extra
Tell us
Innings
about
Festival.
that, because I've never done that before. How cool is that?
It was really neat. It was Ryan Dempster has a festival that he's had for the last few years, and it's kind of gotten bigger. The acts have gotten bigger. I think Eddie Vedder really put him on the map. But this year, they had headline. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I went to Saturday night to go see Dave Matthews Band, and it was just a really, really cool vibe. Really just everybody was really mellow and just kind of walk around. And, if you want to sit down and watch the concert, you sit down and watch the concert. If not, you want to walk around. They have, Jack Daniel's tent and all these different tents, all these different foods. So, big, giant inflatable baseball stuff. And then there's different stages where players, retired players would come out. I know Mickey was out there. Kenny Lofton,
Sean Dunston,
bunch of players.
Yeah.
Sean.
He's coming. That's our next announcement. Be ready.
I'm ready.
So tell me about the highlight of your weekend. What was that?
Boy, it's so many, man. It's hard to say. I mean, clearly each day kind of had its own way of working it. So Friday was a real chill day for me. Like I said, just watching the backfields, doing the tour, and then we went out later at night, and where do we go? Brass Tap, and then we went to some other dive bar that was a lot of fun.
Woodshed 2.
Woodshed 2. That's right. That's
one
right.
of my favorites.
And then Saturday was my first game ever, which was awesome, but the Cubs lost. But like I said, it's spring training, so you don't really care too much. But that was cool. And then going to the Extra Innings Festival after, which was really awesome. And then Sunday, the Cubs won. It was a lot of fun. And then a week, think about this, guys. It was a week ago today, Sunday night, that someone thought it would be a good idea if me, you, William, and Danny Rockett were running around Phoenix wild.
Well, it didn't actually happen like that. We were basically going to drop.
Look, before we get into any questions here, how much of that night do you remember?
It was kind of like the movie The Hangover, where you look at the pictures afterwards, and then all of a sudden stuff starts coming together. Well, you're like, oh yeah.
Let's start it off. We're gonna leave where we're all eating dinner, okay? Because it was just time to go. So we're gonna take Danny to the bar that he wanted to go to, just to drop him off, just to be nice.
That he claims he Googled on Google dive bars.
Yeah,
Mesa.
which ranks in the top 10.
It is number one.
It's number
actually.
one
Yeah,
in all dive bars.
It's number one now. I don't know if it was before.
It's gotta be. So, anyways, we go to this dive bar, and we were just gonna drop Danny off. Well, and Kathy, God, she's a saint. I said, Kathy, well, I don't know if you know this, but Danny, you guys released the podcast, and our conversation from the car is on the end of that podcast.
Is it really?
And I was like, man, I don't sound too good. Did you hear that, Crawly?
I heard it. Yeah.
So, anyways, we go in. I was basically let's go in there and then just have just one beer with Danny, And then 4 hours later, we walk out of there. And
different people than
exactly.
You're changed, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if we went back to K's and our faces were on the wall, please do not serve. Do not allow in.
It was a type of bar that every person in there was its own specific character. You know, everybody was a character in that place, and in a weird way. You know.
Yeah. And I would say there was everyone in there from Indians to transvestites. Oh wait, there was.
It's one of those things that if you weren't there, there's no way we could ever do it justice. I just remember, when I woke up in the morning and I was like, how did I get here to bed? Like I somehow made it home. I don't know how. And then I just remember I went
it
to
is like the hangover, because then you were like, and how's my nose broken?
That happened in the accident, William.
Oh, that was from the accident.
That was from the accident.
Oh, hopefully.
So when I went to talk to you guys on Monday, I mean, we just could not stop crying. We were laughing so hard, just trying to recall every single thing from the fake baseball to the
fake
karaoke disasters to everything that went around, man.
So yeah, my room was right next to William's, like in JP's house. So that morning we met right outside our rooms. And then he looked at me and I looked at him, and I had just woken up, so my mind wasn't processing anything. And William's just like, holy shit, do you remember all that stuff last night? And I'm like, so then me and him start talking about it. I seriously almost pissed in my pants. Like the stories from that night. I mean, that's just one of those nights that, you forget about everything that's going on. And you're just so engulfed into it, and it was amazing.
Which is the exact reason Danny told us he wanted to go there. He was looking for one of those nights. He got
it for sure. He got it for sure.
He just didn't know he'd have his three amigos on his side.
Afterwards it's like, and Danny seemed somehow, I don't know how much battery his phone must have had, but he seemed like he recorded the whole damn night.
Hey, are we gonna? I don't know if I should talk about this, but San Ranto and Club 400 are gonna get together and do a podcast together. Yeah.
All right.
Right?
We're talking about a crossover podcast on locale.
I think it's in the hands of our agents right now. I think they're just negotiating a final price.
All the deals, making sure everything T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. Yeah. But it's gonna be a fun time, I believe.
Speaking of that, I would like you to just kind of recap. Give us your final recap of your spring training experience, close it out, and then tell us about your new endeavor, man, which I think is pretty awesome, and let everybody know about it.
Yeah. So, just to sum up, if you haven't been out to spring training, the fact that you're listening to Club 400 means you're part of the Club 400 family. And it's always more fun to go on these trips with family. And everybody I talk to, knows about the Club 400 tent, knows about the pizza and beer, and just knows that that's the place to hang out. So even if, I know people that went, I went by myself. Bo went by himself, 1 Million Cubs. A lot of people just went by themselves, but we were surrounded by friends and family the whole time. So if you have a chance and you want to just get away from the weather and check out baseball in a nice, relaxing atmosphere, then just head out to spring training and you'll have a blast.
Yeah, man. And we got to bring you back. You got to be there every single year. Next time, maybe bring the wife and hang out.
Yeah, someone's got to babysit me. I don't think Weeds can do it again.
I think she fired all of us.
But the new endeavor, I've always been kind of sitting there. We all grew up with Harry Carey in our lives as kind of the soundtrack of our lives, when we were kids, growing up and listening to baseball. Harry Carey got a lot of us into the game and into WGN and all that stuff. And so, now that I go to Wrigley, sometimes you see like the little silhouette of Harry, like that's by the press box. And he used to be on that building across the street that lit up. You can't really see it as much anymore since the renovations. But I sat there and I said to myself, there is someone else really important in Cubs fans' lives, and that's Pat Hughes. And, Pat's been broadcasting since mid 90s, for the Cubs. And for me, the Pat and Ron show was something sometimes, I would turn the TV down and turn the radio up and listen to Pat and Ron. And there's so many great Pat calls and so many great Pat moments. And I'm like, but there's nothing that really recognizes Pat Hughes anywhere, that I've ever seen. So I talked to his handlers over at Autograph One, and I said, look, I got this idea. What if we got T-shirts for Pat Hughes? And so I talked to, we kind of decided, and I said, I know this painter, Austin Plock from Club 400. He's done some great work. and so Austin got in on it, and he painted an awesome picture of Pat Hughes. And so this T-shirt that we have has Pat Hughes on it, and it's going to be a whole series that are released throughout the season with different catchphrases of Pat Hughes. So his most famous one is "That ball's got a chance, gone," or "Get out the tape measure, long gone." And so we're just going to release a bunch of these, and Pat's really excited about the project. He did some really cool audio for us. So if you go to my website, www.crawleysclubhouse.com, you can go there and check it out. There's a little video message from Pat. And, Pat's really enjoyed it so far. He loves the shirts. And, I talked to a lot of people who enjoyed them. Ryan Sandberg asked me to get him one when I was at spring training. So, Bobby Dernier was all high on them. Everyone just loves Pat. He's such a good guy. And like I said, trying to give him a little bit of recognition and some of those phrases that, you just kind of remember and have become embedded into kind of Cubs fans' heads.
Yeah.
So, Crawly, where can people buy these shirts at, most importantly?
They can buy them at my website, www.crawleysclubhouse.com. There's no Ian Crawly. And then you could go to Voices of Games, Pat Hughes' website, or Autograph One. Any one of those websites, they're going to have them. So, and if you follow me at Crawly's Cubs, it's pinned on top of my Twitter account.
Well, I'll definitely going to be buying one for sure. And Crawly, dude, thanks for coming on with us tonight, buddy.
No, it was my pleasure, and I'm looking forward to seeing you for the John Vincent event, and it's going to be a great time.
It's going to be awesome, man.
It's going to be as good a time as Kay's place.
Well, let's be honest on this here. I have some, I have to start practicing now because the last one was so bad. And the good thing is William told me the next day, he's like, Crawly, I've done karaoke with you. You're much better than that. It just wasn't your night.
I mean, basically, not. I think we're gonna have to come up with Crawly rules for this. Like, not every song is a duet. We love you, buddy. I'll tell you what. I was telling. I woke up the next day and I said, you know what? If you go out with Crawly, you're always gonna have a good time.
You'll have stories, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Just never boring.
No.
So we appreciate. We love you. And like I said, we'll see you April 3rd here at Club 400. And go buy a shirt, everybody, because I'm buying one.
Seriously, you guys will love them. They look great, and Austin did a great job.
All right, buddy. We're going to hook up with Danny Rockett, so your partner in crime. So thanks for coming on with us tonight, man.
All right, guys. You take care and have a good night, everybody.
Okay, we love you, buddy.
Bye.
Take care.
So, I mean, any final thoughts from spring training besides what a wonderful time. And our first trip together.
Yeah, as roommates. Yes.
As roommates, yeah. And
you replaced your brother.
Eric, of course, represented in Las Vegas last weekend, so he did a great job out there. Ran into Anthony Rizzo, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. Where was that at?
At a random bar on the strip. I didn't even ask him. He said it was just random, But that was pretty cool for him to run into him. So any final thoughts about spring training?
I loved it. It's as good as the regular season. It's awesome. If you haven't done it, you gotta do it.
And special thank you, JP and Melanie, for putting up with me and William. We didn't have any bathroom problems either. Like we didn't
We're good.
Like you didn't have to take a dump when I had to take a dump, and I said William, get the hell out of there, emergency.
Right.
Because 6 days of drinking will do that to you.
Yeah.
No bathroom conflicts or nothing like
issues.
that. Yeah, it was pretty smooth.
Didn't walk in on each other.
Exactly.
Right.
Right. So what? Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna call Danny Rockett because we got a couple of things we want to talk about with him. A couple projects he's working on. Let's see if we can get him dialed in here.
I like these live call-ins that we have, John.
Yeah, it's
We're really
interesting.
highly technical tonight.
Very technical.
That's why we're not doing this without Johnny.
2020 technical savviness. Danny Rockett, you got all the famous people on your phone.
Yo.
Danny Rockett, welcome to Club 400, the podcast. What is up, my brother?
Oh, what is up? It's already springtime here, just north of Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. It's 65 degrees, and I'm actually outside grilling.
Beautiful. What's on the grill tonight, Danny?
See, I got some pork chops that I rubbed in some pork rub, and right now there's a baked potato on here. We're going to do a little asparagus. It's a pretty simple meal, but I was excited to fire up the grill, but unfortunately I had to take about 2 hours cleaning the darn thing today, so I got covered in grease, and now I'm just itching and raring to get some sear going on a pork chop.
So does
So-
here's what I want to know. Does the Rocket household get Marquee Network?
The Rocket household could get Marquee Network because I could be an RCN customer, but I don't pay for cable TV, and I haven't paid for it in 10 years. You know, I listen to the game on the radio oftentimes because I'm a very antsy person who needs to be moving and doing stuff all the time. So it's a lot of years. I can't just sit there and watch a baseball game. I could watch an inning or two, and then I got to get up and do something else. So, you know, that, and, you know, I go to a lot of games. I travel around with the team. So, you know, you can always see the highlights, you know, all that mic'd up stuff that they're showing on Marquee, all the new stuff for this year. You know, they're tweeting all that out. So it's not like I'm missing anything, you know, so.
Right.
So Dana, you've got some events coming up, and we're going to talk about those in a little bit, but we can't spend a lot of time on our spring training experience. But I do have one question. How and why did you choose Kay's Place on 315 South Alma Boulevard in Mesa?
Well, William, I'm a big fan of dive bars. And the reason why is because if I go to a fancy place, I'm usually the worst dressed one in there with holes in my clothes and, you know, looking like a bum and off the street, you know, begging for money. If I go,
You're
to
not
a nice
rocking
place.
your nice Cubs cardigan? Come on.
but if I go to a place like Kay's, I fit right in. You know, we all have holes in our clothes. We've all had stints in jail and treatment centers in Kay's Place. You know, and I feel at home. These are my people, so that's where we went in. And you know, and also you had more fun in a dive bar. Look, we played baseball with that big drunk local guy, and we played. We sang karaoke. We met lots of wonderful people, and they're salt of the earth, you know, just like us.
Salt of the Earth is right. One of my favorite night of the trip.
We were just talking about the upcoming event here at Club 400 with Crawly, and had to tell him that there's a rule when the karaoke starts. Every song is not a duet.
Well, we'll see how many. If he gets loaded early, that rule might go out the window. But hopefully he'll bide his P's and Q's, and we can keep him somewhat sober through at least the first few hours of karaoke, and then the duets will begin.
Yes.
Unbelievable night. Memories forever. The fake baseball forever. Unbelievable. Danny, I want to talk to you about like a project you got underway right now, and I'm a big fan of the Bleacher Bum Band. And tell us what you're working on now with those guys.
Well, we got a record coming up. It's about halfway done. We've done a bunch of recording on it already. It's an album, 9 songs, 9 original songs that I wrote and recorded with the band. And we've been doing it all winter, as much as we can. And we hope to have it out sometime this summer. And it's gonna be, I don't know, it's a really fun album. I'm really excited. It's kind of like punk country. Punk tree, if you will.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, there's a ballad on it, but even that one rocks too. We had an incredible drummer came in from Serbia. He's in a big famous band there, so he had to go back and actually make money instead of slumming it with us, the kind of people that go to Kay's Place. But he was so awesome. He laid down a bunch of tracks and stuff. So we're really excited to get this album done. And we're going to be doing a Kickstarter kind of GoFundMe thing. And we're working on all sorts of great kind of perks to go along with helping get this album finished. And we're working with Joe at Obvious Shirts. He's going to do a limited edition Bleacher Bum Band album shirt. And we've got some other kind of plans to, the different perks like, catching a game in the left field well, where we save you a seat and you get to watch the game with the Bleacher Bum Band, like stuff like that, different perks at every level where you support the album. And of course, when the album's finally finished, mastered and completed, then you get a copy of that. We're also going to print up LPs because I guess the kids like those for some reason.
No, that'd be cool, man.
Yeah, we're getting some actual records printed up but those will be limited edition too. So yeah, we've got lots of great plans for this coming year. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited to get an album out. I haven't done that in a bunch of years. So so look for that. So that I think we're going to call it out. Oh yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's called Out of Left Field, which seems appropriate.
I know you don't want to release too much information, but as far as like a song that you guys did for the album that you're really excited about, just because maybe it came out better than you thought, can you give us a little details on something like that, a little preview?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's kind of a last minute song that I knew needed to go on the album, which was No Fighting in the Bleachers. And I don't know if any of the listeners to this podcast remember 2 years ago at the end of the season, there was a big fight in the bleachers, and there was a gentleman out there encouraging them to not fight in the bleachers. And he just kept saying, no fighting in the bleachers, no fighting in the bleachers. And he kind of went viral and a little famous in the Chicago area. And then, so I had written a song called No Fighting in the Bleachers, which was a total rip off of the old gospel spiritual, Go Tell It on the Mountain, go tell it on the mountain. And so I had the chorus, and that song's in public domain, so I could just use it for free. Don't have to pay it. But I'm like, this song needs verses, and it needs to rock. So I went to the drawing board just the other day, and just like most good songs that you write, they don't take very long to write. They're inspired, and they just come very quickly. At least that's how it works for me. And if it's a crappy song that no one's ever going to like, but might have like one cool part that you kind of dig playing, those songs take forever to write, and they're never very good. But the shots of inspiration with this one came, and I think it's a real rocker. And I wrote it, showed it to the drummer the next day. He freaking rocked it out hard. To talk to the bass player, he put down his parts, rocked it hard. I recorded some vocals, and it was just like one of those things that I love it when it's like head to tail. You kind of get the meat of the song down within, I don't know, a couple days. And then it's just, you don't labor over it. It's just a spark of inspiration, a bit of an explosion. So I'm really excited about that. Nobody's heard that one yet. So
that's
I'm
awesome.
Excited
and we're definitely, obviously, Club 400, the Sun, Ranto, Outside the Ivy Crew, anything that Danny has anything to do with, we're going to fully support. We'll definitely incorporate their album into one of our events this year, no doubt. We'll get the Bleacher Band Bleacher Bum Band here to come in play. Yeah, it'd be unbelievable. Like we don't.
I would love it. I would love to get the whole band out there, and just a little, not plug, but a commercial. Or a request is that I did say our drummer is gone. He's in Serbia. So, we've been using our keyboard player as a drummer, but if there's any drummers out there that want to, kind of latch on to us and rock with us all summer long and beyond.
John, are you a drummer?
I was a drummer. Yeah.
Was he? Oh shit.
I haven't played a kit in probably a decade, but I mean, I could pick up on it.
Oh, John wants to drum with us? I didn't even know he drummed.
I don't.
John's
I didn't know either. I was
master of a lot of different things.
Well,
they just kind of pitched it over to me. I'm just like, oh yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot.
Well, it's funny because our keyboard player is now our drummer. And so I was actually going to reach out to John to fill in for the keyboard player, but this is beautiful. We could just have you guys just switch off the whole gig.
That'd be
so
fun.
Exciting, yeah.
It'll be really good. Yeah, you start the gig, you all go on stage, and you're all at your non-respective instrument. So you'd be on the kit, your keyboard player would be on bass. They all look at each other like, wait, what? And you play one song on the wrong instrument. It goes terribly, and then you switch it up.
I love it.
Go back to your right one.
That's totally my sense of humor.
That's beautiful. I got to hit you guys up one of these days. I know you asked me a bunch of times, but I'll follow through one of them.
Yeah, we'll have you out. We'll have you out to the spot. We'll have you out for a big old jam.
Bingo.
I gotta admit, last opening day, I made a big mistake. Sometimes we're all guys here. We don't always communicate the way we should. But the Bleacher Bum band played that day, and we had a party at Output. we're not doing that this year. Of course, we're going to go watch. We want all the Club 400 people to go down, and that's what I want you to. Danny, tell us about your next event on opening day, will you?
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. So it's Wrigley opening day, not
Wrigley
opening day, which is up in so it's March 30th, which is Monday, in the infinite wisdom of MLB to open the season on a day when everybody's got to work. But I won't go into that right now. But so G-Man Tavern, which is just north of Wrigley on Clark. And we're going to be rocking there about 1 p.m. as the official, unofficial Cubs pregame party, but the official Club 400 Sun Ranto pregame party will be there at starting at 1, doors open at noon. It's free. We'll be passing the bucket around so we can cover our cost of getting there and getting back in the Ubers and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
and at least your bar tab, for crying out loud.
Yeah, exactly. We're the kind of band that ends up, kind of like the Blues Brothers, who owe more on our bar tabs than we made at the door. So we help us out with that. But that's it. But other than that, it's free. If you don't have money, we're still going to rock for you. And I'll probably hang out there and watch the game too.
Are you not going in the park that day or what?
Well, somebody's got to keep the gear from getting ripped off.
I'm gonna have I'm gonna have an extra ticket. I'll talk to you about that later. But yeah, man, I'll tell you what. If you have not seen this band play before, I'm a friend of Danny's, but I'm also a fan of his talent and what they're doing. His band, like, it should be well known by all Cub fans, and if it isn't, you're losing out. But if you get a chance, you want to come out for a really good time on opening day, you come to the G-Man. Like you said, free cover. You go around the corner, you make a right to the back bar room, and we'll have a really awesome time. William, are you going to be there? That's my question, because guess what? I've never even talked to William about this because he's going to Milwaukee opening day with his boss. So are you going to be able to get that Monday off, William?
I'm going to work on it.
He's going to work on it.
Okay.
Well, I hope to see you both there.
I'm there, man. I'm not going to miss that.
The more the merrier. And what's great about having a Cubs themed band is that, I was in bands my whole life, more than 20 years I've been in bands. And, I was always singing my songs and about this and about that, whatever I was thinking about. And then you start writing songs about the Cubs. And the beautiful thing is it's something that we all already love and enjoy. And so, that's kind of a feather in my cap, even going into the situation, writing songs about the team, because everybody already likes the subject matter. So, and of course I do. So it's something I can passionately write about and enjoy writing about and entertaining everybody with. So it's, I just love it when everybody shows up and kind of enjoys each other's presence and rocks out together and has a good time. That's what rock and roll's all about. And that's what I'm going to continue to do until I guess the universe won't let me anymore.
Dude, tell us about what made you write the Cubs boat, dude. That was one of my favorites in a long time.
Which one?
The Cubs boat.
Oh, the Cubs boat. Oh, well, my day job is to write parody.
That's the best.
Is what?
I said that was like one of my favorites in a long time. You always write good ones, but.
This one worked out good because my day job is to write parodies for morning radio shows. And, this whole coronavirus thing is going around right now. And one of the first big news stories about it was that boat, the big Princess cruise ship that was stuck out in the middle of the ocean with sick passengers. And, my boss got to me and he goes, "Hey, listen, we want to do the Love Boat parody, the Quarantine Boat, about the worst cruise you could take, like the pools are closed and you're stuck in a 4x4 room and, just like that." So I wrote that song. It's, in bad taste, probably not everybody's sense of humor, but it's morning radio, shock jock morning stuff. So anyway, as I'm writing it, the Love Boat, I'm sitting there, the Quarantine Boat, I was like, love, Cubs, the Cubs boat. And I was like, all right, this is happening. So as soon as I wrote the Quarantine Boat, I wrote the Cubs boat, which might not be a good omen for the season, but that I went from quarantine to Cubs. But that's what happened. And, and then I worked with Matt Baker, who did the video for it, which really helped the production value of the whole thing. His job was a lot harder than mine. I just downloaded a karaoke track and sang it and wrote the song. And Matt did the whole video, making it look like the opening theme of the original Love Boat from the 80s, where they're all in the anchor, and he took the different player gifs of them waving or smiling and put them inside the, not the anchor, the, what's it called? Life preserver. And so he did an awesome job that really like upped the whole production value of the whole thing. And so if you're looking to hire somebody that does that kind of thing, you know,
he did a great job with the video.
Matt
for sure.
Baker.
Yeah. Matt Baker.
Yeah, at Cub Smurf, I believe is his Twitter or something like that. So look
What a
that
beautiful name.
Yeah.
Hey, and I want to. The last thing I really wanted you to talk about was, in the spirit of Cub fans helping Cub fans, your event. I think it's April 23rd at Nisei.
18th.
No, okay,
April 18th. Yeah. Well, a friend of really the whole Cubs community, Michael Cantor, who writes over at Cubs Insider. He was recently diagnosed with, he needs a new liver. His liver is screwed, and so he had to put himself on the donor list. And of course, you know, we all want Michael to focus on healing and doing what he has to do. It's unclear, you know, how this is all going to play out at this point, but we want to make sure that the one thing he can do is have the time and not the stress of, you know, having to really worry about money at this point. So he's got a GoFundMe going right now, which he's raised, I don't know, maybe $12,000 on that or something like that. But, you know, obviously in the United States, that's not enough to live. And so we're going to try to raise him a little bit of money on the 18th at Nisei Lounge. The Cubs are actually in Washington, D.C., so this is really more of a game watch party where we're going to get together and have a few pops and, you know, have a good time. And one of the things I'm working on, and it's not really confirmed yet, is to make it a karaoke party. So just for fun, you know, get together and sing, and don't worry, we'll watch Crawly and make sure that he doesn't turn the whole thing into.
I was going to ask if there was with or without Crawly rules.
Yeah, and I think we'll go Crawly rules for at least the first half of the game, and then you know, then it'll be a free for all at some point of the night. But they've never had karaoke in Nisei Lounge, and so it actually is Nisei Lounge's 69th birthday coming up, so we'll be celebrating that. I'll pause for a nice.
That's the first time. Correct, William? That's the first time you had Malort was at John Baker Day.
Yes.
2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
2 years ago. 2 years ago, right? That
By
was
the way,
Dude,
First and last
it's paint
time.
remover, man. It's disgusting.
As a throwback too, you know, I do hear Malort does protect against coronavirus, so make sure you get there, and it pretty much kills it. Any virus, really. So you can wash your windows with it.
That's because it kills you. It kills you along with every other virus that's in your body.
Exactly. If you can survive the Malort, you can survive the coronavirus.
You can survive anything.
Exactly. So April 18th, I think we'll get started around 2:00. The game's at 3:00. We'll just be over there. I think probably do I think Michael Cantor's selling tickets to the event.
I think he is.
they're
Yeah.
only
He's going to drink his last beer there, he said.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that it's his last beer because he's
and his
already,
last shot
by
to
the way,
Malort. He says the last shot he's going to do is a Malort.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's Chicago down.
Right.
He's got to have at least a little sip of Old Style at the end of that. But
Exactly.
you know, but no, we're all pulling for Michael, and we just definitely want him to focus on healing and doing what he has to do in his life right now. And if we can get him some money, you know, and that would probably go a long way to at least helping him focus on that, as opposed to, you know, having to hustle for dough.
Exactly.
So we'll be out there. And hopefully everybody can come out to both events on March 30th and April 18th. So
I mean, why the hell
and then
not, right? There's no reason not to, Danny.
there is no reason, unless, of course, you're quarantined on a boat. then I could see that, you know, you'd have an excuse. But I don't mean to make light of it. It's just whenever something is going wrong in the world, my first instinct is to try to laugh in its face, So, but yeah, that, and I do have a little bit of a date announcement drop, because I know a lot of you guys, and Stuart, you've been pretty instrumental in helping me throw John Baker Day the last couple of years, and Club 400 support has been huge. But I was talking to John Baker actually just yesterday over text, and we were kind of throwing around some dates, and I think we settled on, and this is just a saved date right now, August 1st.
August 1st.
I believe that's
all right.
That's a Saturday, August 1st. Cubs are playing the Brewers, 1:20 start. So save that date. Don't go out of town if you're starting to plan vacation, but you're hearing it here first.
I like it, because I'll talk to you later. I got another idea about that. I can bring maybe 50 to 75 people in there. Where's it going to be, Danny? Do you know yet or no?
Well, if you bring in 50 to 75 people, that changes my plans right away.
Well, we'll talk later. But,
It's going to be in left field now.
You know what? As I was listening to Danny talk, I mean, Danny was like one of our first 5-6 shows, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah.
And this is the second.
Yep.
This is only the second time you've been on, but man, I'll tell you what, Danny. I was telling Bill earlier in the episode, like, I mean, it's dude, you are an integral part of Club 400. You are a part. You're helping us raise the $1 million. Danny's never charged the dollar to come out here. He's always coming on in his free will because he loves Cub fans helping Cub fans. And dude, I want to thank you for all that you do. You come all the way out from Chicago. You come out here, you play, you do it for free, and like that's what it's all about, man. And that's why at the end of the day, when we do raise $1 million, it's not me, it's all of us, like Bill Watts, it's you, it's like Noah, it's like all these guys that combine forces to do it. And I am proud to be your buddy. I enjoy every time I'm with you and when I hang out with you, and I'm looking forward to many great times ahead. And to hang out with someone like you in the Cubs community who's so talented, who has such a good heart, man, it's a beautiful thing, buddy.
He's going to be honest with you.
I'm going to be honest with you.
He loves you, buddy.
Well, I love you too, and no, it's been a really wonderful couple of years as we've been able to kind of grow our group of people and take there's a lot of circles of Cub fans, with the different blogs and the podcasts that go on. Everybody's got their own little, community that goes on. But what I love about Club 400 is that you take all those communities and you bring all those circles of people together little by little. You've had everybody out there, from, I just recorded a podcast at your tent out at Club 400. And I interviewed everybody from JP making the pizzas to Joe from Obvious Shirts to John Felice from Cubs Insider, to you, Stuart, and it's just like all these circles are starting to kind of weave together, and I think that when we do that and we have numbers, then we have strength, and then we have a larger voice than our own, and we can do bigger things than we could individually. And you're right, it does take all of us, and it's a beautiful thing.
What you said is 100% right, and I was telling Brad the same thing from the heckler. Separately, we are nothing. Together, we are freaking something, dude. If we all combine forces,
together,
dude.
we're the marquee network.
Well, yeah,
but you'll be able to get us. You'll be able to receive our information.
Right.
Yeah. No. See, that's just it. Is if we had a channel, we'd just we'd put it over rabbit ears. Be like, everybody watch this. This show is free. We'll do ads for each other's stuff, like the Bleacher Bum Band album coming out or our upcoming events. Those are our commercials. But it's a beautiful thing, and I just love that we are so lucky to have a community of fans surrounding this baseball team that we love. It all kind of seems so silly. It's something we all do to entertain ourselves, but we have passion and love that's deep seated, generational at times. And, when it comes down to our, the real part of your life where people get sick and they get hurt and they have medical issues like Michael or a lot of the people that you've benefited out at Club 400 or John Baker Day, when we all band together to do something like that, it makes our fandom more meaningful. And and then you feel that when you walk into the bleachers or Wrigley Field, it reminds you of all the people that are banding together to help each other and really create, it's something more akin to a religion than than just regular sports fandom. So
yeah, it's a religion. We all, I always said that we all believe in the same thing. We all love the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's a beautiful thing to be a part of, and I'm just enjoying the hell out of myself in my middle aged. I don't even need a midlife crisis. You guys have gotten me through this already. It's beautiful.
Dude, and congratulations for all your successes outside the Ivy, all that good stuff. I mean, it couldn't happen to a better person. We're proud of you. We love you. Thanks for coming on tonight, man. Get some rest because the season's underway almost pretty soon in a couple of weeks. And are you going to Milwaukee opening day or no?
I don't think so. I'm just gonna, it's a long season, my friend.
Right.
I don't need to, I would like to go up there, but
am I going to Milwaukee, William? Or
we'll see.
I reserve the right to. I reserve the right to change my mind. I must admit I have been looking at ticket prices and just scrolling StubHub and seeing if I find a deal. Because if I did, I probably would go. But it's once again in MLB's infinite wisdom. Hey, let's open the. I got to work that morning. You know what I mean?
Right.
In empty, they've either I'm taking the day off or I'm going up there. But so
I might have a connection that day. We'll see if he comes through. I'll let you know. I'm looking at him right now. There's only 2 guys in this room, but. We'll see. All right.
All right. On that note.
All right, Danny. Well, hey, man, thank you for everything, dude. I love you. Dude, we'll see you opening day at the Bleacher Bum Bar.
Oh, yeah.
Not the Bleacher Bum Bar, but we'll see you at the Bleacher Bum Band playing
G-Man.
At the G-Man Tavern at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, come at 12. Band rocks at 1. Come have a couple pops. Enjoy yourself going to the game or stay and watch with me outside. And the rest of the band and everybody else that doesn't have a ticket.
I'm going to call you tomorrow, and we'll see if we can talk to the owner about getting some Club 400 lager in there for that day.
Oh, I love it.
Because we could get it them. We could get it to them through distribution. So.
All right. I love it. I love it. It's a great beer. I don't even drink beer, and I like that beer. So that's a rousing endorsement for a beer.
Awesome.
If a non-beer drinker likes it.
Exactly. All right, Danny.
All right, cool.
You take care, buddy. Thanks for your time tonight. We appreciate it.
See you soon.
Thanks, my brothers.
Goodbye. Danny Rockett with Son Randall. Dude, the guy's great, isn't he?
Amazing.
I mean, the guy, whenever
he rocks it in pink pants, too.
Yeah, he does. I mean, I'll tell you what. It was me, you, Crawly, and Kathy. And we had a hell of a Sunday night. Unbelievable.
Yes, we did.
So
is that it?
I don't know. Are you ready?
That's it.
It's a way to end it. It's like, yeah, all right, cool.
All right. I guess that's it. Well, hey, I think William's tired. That was a long.
We just did 3 podcasts in one podcast.
So I think he's tired.
What are we, like 6 hours into this one? Or?
Just about, yeah. A few hours shy of 6 hours.
Well,
but
hey, thanks for joining. I'll end this for you, William. William's obviously got to go home, okay? So that's fine. William, you got to go home. You got to go home, okay?
The magic is over. You ruined it, Will.
Well, I want to thank all our special guests tonight.
Yeah.
Bill Watts, my guy.
Danny Rockett,
and Crawly, dude. Family. Yeah. All right, so we hope to see you out there this Saturday in Mesa on the 14th, and also opening day at G-Man Tavern. And hopefully we'll see you at Nisai Lounge. What was it, the 18th?
All right.
William is done. Thanks for joining us. Club 400 podcast. Cub fans helping Cub fans on our way to $1 million, baby. With the help of you guys. And we love you.
Cubs, the season is new. Gonna score lots of runs off you. The Cubs, Wrigley's gonna roar. Screaming fans, bleeding Cubby blue. The Cubs boat, striking them out, smashing long home runs. The Cubs boat, sun. Cubs will win the World Series, so don't make October plans. The Cubs putting runs on the board. Come and see the team Ricketts can afford.